Good morning, Daniel Hall.
Happy morning, Holly Tate.
Okay, so we're gonna do yesterday's blog by Seth because we both really liked it and liked it more than today's.
And
So
because it's our podcast and we can do what we want.
that's right. Seth said, "What?"
We can do what we want. Wait, that's weird.
That sounded like a song. Okay, so I'll read it for us.
Great.
It's called "Ject!" Exclamation point. We spend a lot of time responding and reacting to the throes of others. Ejected, rejected, projected, interjected. No one dejects you, of course, but it's easy to feel dejected. Perhaps this is a good moment to take initiative, which is rarely given on its own. No one is coming to pick you. Today's a great day to pick yourself. We've built a circle of reactions about the Latin word for throw, but we rarely say the word itself. When we eject on behalf of others, creating possibility and connection, the effort pays off. So I did not know that the word eject was Latin for throw. So that's fascinating.
Yeah, can you ject? Is that like, it's like, is that just a part of a word or is that an actual word? Like if we started
Let's see.
saying that, like, hey, why don't you
Eject.
ject some ideas my way? Like, what?
So it looks like it's a root word.
A
Like
root
it's
word.
not it's
Yes.
not like a word that we use, but it is a word in Latin, which means to throw or to cast is what Google AI overview is telling me.
Nice. Okay.
And so that's where and that's whole thing like
Yeah.
serves as a root in many English words such as reject, eject, project, interject.
Yeah. You feel dejected. So I think the central pillar of the post is no one's coming to pick you. Today's a great day to pick yourself, right?
Mhm.
Um, Good moment to take initiative.
So
Yeah,
I have a thought on this
go. Let's do it.
because I feel like my
Eject it out
last
there.
yes, I'm just gonna eject this out there. I feel like my last few months at my last job, I was struggling with finding the confidence to be like to take initiative because I felt like when I had taken initiative, there were some times where teammates would say, "Oh, that's a bad idea," or not respond, or like would go a different direction, and or I'd feel like we're on the same page, and then show up at a meeting and be like, "Oh, I feel like we're speaking two different languages." And I've thought the last couple of weeks where I feel like I've this hasn't been the case with every client, but I feel like in the last few weeks I've kind of entered this season of confidence of like I'm just going to tell you like you're paying me or you're not paying me. Like either you're a prospect that's thinking about paying me or you are a client that's paying me. So I'm going to tell you what I think, and if you don't like it, then you're not a good fit and I'm going to move on and whatever, right? Um and I've thought recently like I wish I had had that confidence in the last few months at my previous job, and I wonder if it would have um
Hmm.
ended in a different place. But then now that I say that, I even think about like there were conversations where I would verbalize those things and still ended up in confusion or misalignment or whatever it might be. And so, anyway, I really like this because I am in a season where I'm so tired of like I want to pick myself and I want others to pick themselves because I think there's a lot of fear happening in the world right now, and like with the economy and with politics and I like I'm there. Like I'm scared too. Like there's been moments recently like if I let myself go a little too far in the mental spiral, I'm like scared for Iris and all the things.
Yeah.
So, all that to be said, I'm like, well, I guess I'm like tired of trusting others to build the company that I think they should or do this idea or do that or do that. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to go give it my best shot. And not that I know the answer and not that I have all the resources or the means, but I do trust my gumption and initiative. So, anyway, that's
That's
kind of
great.
what sticks out to me.
Yeah. Well, and it's time that I come out to our audience a little bit that
Pause just to make everybody a little nervous. Ooh,
that
you're coming out to our audience.
yeah, I'm in a job transition now, and so I totally get what you mean. Where I've felt that. I'm still in the job for about another month and a half or so, but yeah, looking for my next chapter. And um, I totally get the feeling of like, I've been tempted a couple times to say, man, I feel like I'm doing my best work now, all of a sudden, probably partially because there's a little bit of when you're a dead man walking, it's like, what are you going to do? Ask me to
Fire
leave?
me?
So it's like
Exactly.
I'm being bolder. I'm saying things in a way that are kind of like, actually, I have an email draft on my computer right now that I was really inspired by a blog from a different thought leader that I'm sending to a whole list of people saying, when I leave, if nothing
Mhm.
else, this is what I've been trying to say around this particular topic for years. May this be like a testament. Like if you walk through the graveyard of former employees of this company, may this be what's on my tombstone. So
That's
please
awesome.
read this, move forward. So yeah, to how did we get there? I think because I'm also I'm feeling what you said about temptation to say like I feel a little rejected, and I
Mhm.
feel what are the other jects? Um, yeah, DJ,
Ejected,
and I'm
rejected.
feeling a
Yeah.
bit dejected at times. There's a lot of awesome things in the future for me in this next chapter. I 100% believe that, but yeah, I am
Mhm.
being ejected, uh, and all that good stuff. Uh, but anyway, so it's good to just say that out loud for anybody that's been following our journeys. And you've been so
Mhm.
transparent about yours that I wanted to say that. But it's so interesting to think that, like, man, I do wish I had stood up and been louder about that thing because, um, at the beginning of this journey, I was hired for my voice and I was hired for my unique perspective and my experience, culminating to this moment, whenever that moment was 4 years ago to this moment today. So,
Mhm.
yeah, he says, project, disease, project. Yeah,
Yeah, he's ejected, rejected, projected, interjected.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I should have interjected more and self projected. I don't know. I'm trying to like do the ject thing too much, maybe, but um,
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it's a good challenge to pick yourself even if you're inside of an organization. What does it look like to pick yourself, to take initiative? And that's as I think back to, let's see, we're 2025, maybe like, yeah, January of 2025, Holly, to just care less about sorry, let me finish my sentence and then I do that too much. I like start saying something and then my brain like counteracts it. And so then I start saying
same.
the next thing. My husband's like, "What are you saying?" Um, yeah, so if, like January 2025, Holly, to care less about what people thought and go in a direction that I thought was best, um, and then not be so scared of the consequences. But when you're paralyzed by what you think might be the consequences, that's where we get tripped up, which is why it's so important for leaders to create environments of psychological safety. Because that's often I hear executives say, well, I want them to take more initiative. But then you start talking to teammates lower down on the org chart and they're like, well, I'm scared because I have taken initiative before and I felt like I got in trouble or I felt like my idea was shot down. And so it's a both and. That's the dance of relationships, especially in the workplace, is there has to be that trust to be able for people to take initiative and to choose themselves and I don't mean choose yourself in a selfish way. Don't do something that's counter to the organization. What I mean is like your idea. Choose, if you have thought through it critically, you've done the market research, you want to test this idea in a way that is as low risk as possible to the organization. Um, go ahead and try it. That's the beauty of the world we're living in right now is you can pretty low time and energy and money investment, you can start testing things.
Yeah.
And so I wish I had done more of that rather than take my ideas so seriously that I felt like it needed to have all of this buy-in and have like a whole committee vote on it and all the things. It's like, what if I had just kind of gone over here and like tested something and then been like, hey, this worked, or hey, I did this and it didn't work. Sorry, moving on, you
That's
know?
right. It's funny, you actually almost started to veer into, I read today's blog. You almost kind of
Oh,
went into today's blog
maybe that was
topic.
because I did read today's, so maybe it
Well,
was
maybe
kind of
it's on your
spilling
back
over in
burner.
my brain.
It's worth visiting. I don't
Yeah.
know if we'll revisit it necessarily, but I also want to say there's another thing I wish I had done earlier in this role that I was advised. Even a good friend, coworker in this role, named Alex. So shout out Alex. For years, as I've complained about not being able to get like momentum here or buy-in for this idea, he just kept coming back to show, don't tell. And
Mhm.
so to
So
the
good.
point of choosing yourself, or no one's coming to pick you, pick yourself. I feel like it's related, especially related to what you just said, in iterative um, building, or take it's cheaper than ever to create the first version of it or whatever, or using AI to get from 0 to 1. Um, but to show, don't tell. Um, build a thing, show the example, get the snippet. Um, I get lost a little bit in the words prototype or proof of concept or whatever, but whatever the lowest version of that is, to say, here, I'll use here's a very concrete example. A friend was talking about, I have an idea for a podcast. It's funny, here we are, like in the world of podcasts.
Mhm.
Um, and he was like outlining all the things, like here's the idea and these segments and these are kind of guests. And I was like, hey, I love this idea. My advice, do it. Don't ask permission, because there's a good chance you're not going to get it. So choose yourself and make it. And the barrier to entry, and I pointed him to the episode that we did with Nick, and I was like,
Mhm.
look, you can get started for free slash cheap to just
Mhm.
throw up 8 episodes. It sounded like he had like eight to 10 episode kind of arc. It's like, just create the time, don't ask permission, and go make it, so that when you hand it over, you actually can just send a link to Spotify and go, total proof of concept. It's real. It exists. Go. And the reason I was encouraging him so hard to do that is because here's the like last couple months of like knowing I'm headed out the door, headed into the next
Mhm.
chapter. Um, I just went ahead and did things because I was like, again,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do? And those things have gotten buy-in because I just made the
Mhm.
thing and I put it out there
Yeah.
and I said, it's a big idea and you can click on it. Or here's this thing and we already went so far with it. And it's just maybe it's an irony, but it's just so interesting that it's like Alex should have shown more and told less along the way. And I will be
Mhm.
doing that more for sure in the future.
That's
So
so good. That is a great see, and that's what's, good in these moments is to, what can I learn? What do I wanna take with me, and what do I wanna leave behind? I took the 30 days well, and still, I mean, it's not like you are just, like, over something in 30 days, but, after I left my last job, took 30 days to try not to do anything work related, and that was a lot of my reflection of, like, what do I wanna take with me, and what do I wanna leave behind? And just the realization of how much you've grown, what you've learned, um, and yeah, mistakes you've made and lessons you've learned. And um, I can't wait to see what's next for you, Daniel. It's going to be incredible. And
thanks, Holly.
yeah, it's whether you go join an organization somewhere or you get to choose yourself, it's going to be epic.
Yeah,
All right, so said what nation? Leave a comment and tell Daniel how awesome he is and how epic his next thing is going to be. Because sometimes we all, need a little bit of that encouragement to choose ourselves and people in our life to remind us of that. So,
that's right.
said what nation? We love you.
That's right. Yeah, thanks,
Oh
Holly. It's
man.
great.
Uh, all right, talk to you later.
Bye.